name's Chris Elston. I'm known on social media as Billboard Chris because I travel the world raising awareness about what I consider to be the greatest child abuse scandal in the history of modern medicine, the totally insane practice of trying to change the sex of children with puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeries. I wear a sign that says children cannot consent to puberty blockers, and I just go out on the street. I go to university campuses. I do public speaking. I've spoken at the UN a few times, the European Parliament. I won a big lawsuit for freedom of speech in Australia last year, and I just do whatever I can to raise awareness about this child abuse because I believe one conversation at a time we're going to put a stop to it, and we are.
So what prompted you to do this?
Well, this is
Billboard.
So when they start stopping the development of children with chemical castration drugs that have never been approved for this purpose, when they're cutting the body parts off of children, my question for people is, why aren't you doing something about it? Because as a dad of two girls, I just felt compelled to do something because this is the most insane child abuse we have ever seen in our lifetimes. So I think the very least we should be doing is raising awareness about it because that's how we put a stop to it. But this is egregious abuse and somebody has to do something to stop it, so that's what I'm trying to do.
So do you feel called to do it? Because obviously your two children are not involved in any kind of surgery.
That's right.
Any relatives of yours not involved, right?
No one in my family is affected by this at all. Yeah, I do consider it a calling.
So I'd like you to talk about your faith and your calling.
Yeah, this really has nothing to do with faith.
Okay.
This is understanding that our children are beautiful just as they are, and they don't need drugs or scalpels to be their true selves.
Okay.
And I just refuse to live in a world that is doing this to kids. I refuse to live in a world that doesn't know what a woman is. I'm not sending my girls out into a world that doesn't know what a woman is, in a world that's trying to change the sex of children. In life, we have choices to make. We can't just be chasing money. We should be trying to live a purpose-driven life. So I felt not just a calling, but I knew that I could make a difference. And I think when you know you can make a difference about something that's truly evil going on in the world, and you don't do that something, I think that's the definition of cowardice. So I just decided to start doing something about it.
It's a lot of work, and you've been traveling all through the country, even the world. Like, who is taking care of your kids when you are away?
Well, my girls are bigger now. They're 14 and 16 years old, so they can take care of themselves. But my wife, when I'm gone, she's the taxi driver at night, taking them to their different activities. And my grandparents help out sometimes. Not as much anymore, but when they were smaller, they did. They'd take them to school sometimes. But I'm home most of the time. I'm home the majority of the time for sure.
So
people think I'm gone more than I am, but...
Yeah. So how do you support yourself?
People donate through my website. So I have a website, billboardchris.com. People can donate through there. I literally survive off small donations. I think the average donation is $67. And then I've also opened a nonprofit in the United States. So hopefully I'll be able to bring a lot more money in through that to help with expenses and to do more because we need to do a lot more.
Okay.
Chris and I keep bumping into each other at various events, and we were both in front of David Eby's office a few days ago, and it got a bit exciting for you there, Chris. One of your enemies showed up.
Yes, I have a lot of enemies. A guy that had assaulted me on the street in Vancouver on December 28th, 2020, a guy hit me from behind. And it stunned me for about 7 or 8 seconds. I didn't even know who would hit me. And then some young guys on the street pointed him out, and I went to get his picture and he ran. And I wasn't in the mood to have yet another person assaulting me get away. They should face repercussions from the police. So I stopped him from running away with a single push. And the police ended up arresting me. A couple months later, the police were threatening with charging me with assault causing bodily harm. They never did. But sure enough, just the other day, 2 weeks ago in Kits, I was at a rally speaking and this guy showed up again. So that was a bit interesting. But yeah, I've had a lot of assaults. I've had my arm broken by Antifa in Montreal. I've been assaulted probably 40 or 50 times. There have been a few people arrested, but most of the time police don't do anything about it. But that's okay, it's just the price of doing business.
You know, Chris is not a violent guy because one of my friends was there, and a crazy woman pushing a stroller with a baby came through the crowd and smashed her stroller right into my friend's legs. And then he wouldn't move, so she punched him in the head and sent his glasses flying. Well, he's ex-cop, and he wound up to drive her one, and it could have turned disastrous, but Chris jumped in and intervened and grabbed my friend's arm and prevented a disaster. And my friend is still, it was his 65th birthday. He was a senior, and he got assaulted by a woman pushing a baby stroller with a live baby in the stroller.
Totally crazy. Using your baby carriage as a weapon to hit people. These people are unhinged. Anyway, I don't worry about all the crazies too much. We just have to reach the normies in society. I get more than 90% support when I'm on the street. I go downtown Vancouver, I go to university campuses, and I've had tens of thousands of conversations to this point, and I get easily more than 90% support. The far left, they're going to scream, and they're going to complain, and they're going to lie, but my philosophy is we should just basically ignore them. We just need to get the true message out to people, because one conversation at a time, as people learn about this abuse, once people learn that the message we're sending children is that they were born in the wrong body, every normal parent in the world is against this. So we need to get this ideology out of schools. It's not enough to repeal SOGI. Repealing SOGI does nothing. It sounds nice for a politician to say that, but it does nothing because teachers have autonomy. And the activist teachers, people like Annie Ohana at LA Matheson in Surrey, for example, they're going to keep pushing this on their kids. They're going to keep running these LGBTQ clubs at school, fully with the support of the BC Teachers Federation, whose written policy, by the way, from the BCTF, their written policy is to hide from parents when a child is socially transitioning at school. They consider parents to be the enemy, and that these blue-haired teachers know what's best for their own child, and they hide that they are performing a psychological intervention on these children. So we need legislation to ban all instruction of gender identity in schools. And there's other legislation we have to pass as well. Of course, banning the chemical castration and the maiming of children. Because right now in British Columbia, they're cutting off the breasts of girls as young as 14 years old, and they're sterilizing them with puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones. You know what? In Iran, under the Islamic regime, it's illegal to be gay. Being gay in Iran is punishable by death, but it's okay in Iran to be trans. It's the only Islamic country where they have this, thanks to a decree from the first Ayatollah. So what do the gay men in Iran do? They transition. They get surgery. They get the penile inversion surgery done, the vaginoplasty, and they do that to stay alive. Here in the West, they're doing this to kids, and they call it love and acceptance and affirmation. It's the actual conversion therapy. So once again, that bill is the exact opposite of what it claims to be.
Yeah. Yes. Have you ever thought about running for any office?
No, I'm not a politician. The only position I think I would ever even contemplate would be leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, because that's the only way you can ever actually get anything done. But I'm not a politician. I have a global mission. I work with politicians all over the world. I've been to 14 or 15 different countries now. I testify at legislatures. I've spoken at the UN Human Rights Council, at the European Parliament twice last year. I was just at the UN for the Commission on the Status of Women, at an organization that doesn't even know what a woman is anymore. But I think I'm best served just continuing my mission on my own, collaborating with other conservative organizations around the world. And maybe one day when I'm older, I'm already 50, but maybe one day, 10, 15 years from now, I might consider running for something much more
Prime Minister
substantial.
Of Canada.
That's the only thing I would really consider, to be honest with you.
You're a perfect candidate for it. I fully support you.
We'll see. I probably need to get to 5 million followers first, but I'll do that.
How about Pink Shirt Day?
Pardon me?
Pink Shirt Day, I want to come back to SOGI because some politicians, they want to get rid of SOGI, but when you ask them about Pink Shirt Day, they say, what? This is anti-bullying. I don't see anything wrong about it. What do you think?
I think bullying is very bad, and anti-bullying policies are great. But anti-bullying has been the sales pitch for pushing gender identity into schools.
And they're using Pink Shirt Day.
That's right. I mean, look, I have kids. They've been in school. All the other kids, a lot of the kids wear a pink shirt. That's great. It's a great message not to be bullying anyone. But when you use that as a Trojan horse to push ideology, that's the problem. And it's not just Pink Shirt Day in schools. It's in legislatures all across the world. The conversion therapy bill that passed unanimously in Canada's federal parliament is a Trojan horse to stop children from receiving therapy that would help them to feel comfortable in their own skin. It's now a crime punishable by up to 5 years in prison if you help a girl to feel comfortable as a girl or help a boy to feel comfortable as a boy once they're trans-identified. But it's perfectly legal to convince your healthy girl that she's a boy and that she should have her puberty blocked, go on testosterone, be sterilized, get a double mastectomy. This is harm, but that's okay to push harm. But now parents, therapists, faith leaders, they're all afraid to talk to these kids and give them the actual affirming message, which is that they're beautiful just as they are. So that bill's got to go. We see this all over the world. Activists use the same tactics. They use kind, euphemistic language as a Trojan horse to push their harmful ideology.
Okay. So why are you here?
I'm here to mingle. I'm here to meet.
So what do you
I'm here to meet
expect
these
from the
politicians.
candidates?
Well, to be honest, the three candidates who are here, I don't expect that much from them, sadly. Peter Millibar has never said a thing about this subject. There's nothing on his website. Ian Black has said, at least on his website, that he would repeal SOGI, but as I've already discussed, that's not good enough. You have to have a bill banning gender identity instruction in schools. Caroline Elliott also has this on her website, but she never talks about it publicly. And I did speak with Caroline for about 10 minutes at the Conservative Party Canada convention in Calgary, and she understands everything I'm saying. She was nice as pie, but she just nods along. She doesn't say she'll do anything about it. And I want to hear them on the campaign trail saying they're going to do something to stop this child abuse, because it's not good enough. Carrie Lynn Finley has said she will. Yuri Fulmer has said they will. They're not here, unfortunately. But at least we are making some progress. Politicians are very slow to embrace change when they think they're going to get yelled at by leftist activists. But they need to have a little more courage and just ignore these far left activists, because they're screaming and they're moaning doesn't mean a thing.